I don't think there's ever been a game that constantly brings me close to tears as much as these TellTale Walking Dead games. So after having beaten Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, you can check out my review for that in this link right here. I was looking for another game to play, and for whatever reason, it suddenly dawned upon me I've never finished and completed the final season of the TellTale Walking Dead games. I played every single game that was involving Clementine. Because of all the drama that happened with the company and them potentially shutting down forever, I actually forgot about the game and it was completely off my radar. But while browsing the PlayStation Store, it popped up and I was like, oh yeah, Robert Kirkman, who was the original creator of the Walking Dead comic books, his company did buy out the rights for the video game, thus allowing them to finish it and complete it. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna buy it and download it and play it so I can finally get a conclusion to Clementine's storyline. And boy, am I glad I did, because this game did not disappoint and it was phenomenal. When I found out the news that TellTale was going out of business and weren't doing any more video games anymore, I was a little disappointed and sad because for the most part, every single game that they've come out with for PlayStation 4, there's only 2 games that they came out with that I have not played. And that was the Walking Dead, the Michonne game, and the Guardians of the Galaxy games. But I've played pretty much every single PS4 release from TellTale, from all the Walking Dead games, the Batman games, the Wolf Among Us, Game of Thrones, and I've enjoyed every single one of them. And the thing that the TellTale games have a great job in doing, and this game is no exception, is they have a great way of developing and crafting this storyline and making you care so much about these characters and the choices that these characters make. And that's the thing that makes these TellTale games so fun to play. Like, if you think about the gameplay for these games, the gameplay isn't all that great. Like, you're not really doing that much but pointing and clicking. And then also pressing for PlayStation, pressing square, X, triangle, or circle to choose the next lines of dialogue that you're going to say to craft what direction the storyline is going to go to. And that's essentially the gist of the entire gameplay for the story. But the thing that makes these games so great to play is everything that you do has an impact. And that's the thing that I loved about these Walking Dead games specifically. Like, I believe the very first Walking Dead game came out in 2014 and you played the main character of Lee. And all these years later, if you still have all of the Walking Dead games saved on your console, all those decisions that you made even back from the first game have consequences in this game, in this particular game, and really all the Walking Dead games with Clementine, and they have an impact. And you basically get to grow and develop with these characters based on all the decisions that you made, and these decisions that you made have weight for the story going forward. And that's the thing that I love about these games. And funny enough, there were certain things that I didn't even remember that I did from season 1 that came up in this game, and I was like, oh yeah, that did happen. I forgot about that, and it held weight, and it had an impact for Clementine, and it affected the story, whereas if I went a different path, something different would have happened with my character, and I just love that. And with that said, getting into the story for this particular game, without any major spoilers in case anybody hasn't played it, you do take control of the character of Clementine, a character that you've been following since really season 1. Clementine is all grown up. I'm assuming she's about 16 or 17 or maybe even 18. And now, just like Lee before her, it is her responsibility to raise and take care of this little boy named AJ, just like Lee took care of her, to live in this zombie apocalyptic world. And they basically tell you in the beginning of the game, every decision that you make, how you choose to move through this life in this zombie apocalyptic world, AJ's watching you and he's basing his ideology off of you. So if you decide to go through this life as a complete hard ass, AJ is going to take that to heart. But if you decide to go through this life with some type of compassion, AJ is also going to take that to heart. And they kind of make it allude to the fact that if you do decide to go through the world as a hard ass, AJ is going to grow up to be a complete psycho. And so throughout most of the game, I was trying to figure out ways to navigate throughout this world. In this world, you have to be hard. You have to make hard decisions. If you know the Walking Dead world, you have to kill people. You have to kill walkers. You would have to do things that you wouldn't have to do in this world in order to survive. But at the same time, you don't want to walk through this world as basically a psychotic serial killer. And so it was very interesting to have to make certain choices in this world knowing that AJ was watching you. And all of that does come back up throughout the game. I will say though that unlike all the previous Walking Dead games, there weren't as many super tough decisions in this game as opposed to other games. Like for for example, in like season 1, there was a decision that you had to make as lead where it was like save this person or save that person. And for the most part, you kind of like both of those people. So no matter which one you choose to save, somebody's going to end up dying. One of those people that's going to die, you like both of them. So none of those decisions are going to be an easy decision. And while there were tough decisions in this game, I feel like they weren't as tough as the previous games. Like overall, I feel like the stakes in this game weren't as high as previous games. But at the same time, I still really enjoyed this game because of the journey that I went through for all these years with Clementine, and seeing that come to a head with this being the final season, the final journey that I'm going to get with Clementine. And with that said, like these games and these Telltale games do a great job, not even just in the Walking Dead games, but all of the Telltale games, of making you really care for the characters that are in this storyline. Not even just the main characters, but the side characters. Like, I don't think there's a single character in this game that I didn't come to care for. And so me playing as Clementine, I tried to do everything in my power to keep everyone alive. But this is the apocalypse. That's not realistic as a zombie apocalypse can be. But yeah, people are gonna die in this, and you feel terribly when people do die. And again, that's something I really enjoyed about this game. It did feel like watching The Walking Dead back when it was in its prime, and back when I was really enjoying watching The Walking Dead, because you did care when characters died, especially when you couldn't do anything to prevent their deaths. And the thing that I enjoyed in this game is like they do show you that, yeah, Clementine, she is pretty much an adult now, and so now there's some adult feelings and emotions and interactions that she's gonna have that she didn't have in the previous games because she was still a kid. And so I enjoyed seeing the growth of this character that I've been following since she was really a little girl. And I just really enjoyed this game. I think this was a great conclusion to Clementine's character. I'm actually kind of sad that we won't get to see more of this character going forward because, again, this is the final season. Even if Telltale was still around, they're not making any more games with Clementine. But especially now that Telltale is out of business, they're definitely not doing any more games. But it kind of sucks because I wanted to play another season of like The Wolf Among Us or another Game of Thrones game or other properties that Telltale was going to tell in the future. But yes, I would definitely give this final game, and really all the Walking Dead games, and hell, every single Telltale game that I've ever played, a blockbuster. And the way this game ended, like, I feel like it was a perfect ending for Clementine's story. So yeah, have you guys played the final season of The Walking Dead? Have you played any of the Walking Dead Telltale games? Which game was your favorite? I still say the first one was my favorite because it was the first thing of its kind. It's something I've never played before, and just like Lee's death at the end, it still hits me to this day. But it doesn't matter what I thought. What did you guys think of this series? Let me know down in the comment section below. Also, if you can't hit that thumbs up button and like this video to really help out the channel. If this is your first time watching one of my videos, please check out the other videos on my channel. And if you like what you see, please subscribe for more and hit that bell notification button so you're alerted every single time I post a new video. And tell your friends, families, and neighbors about my channel to help me continue to grow. And as always, I'll catch you guys next time.